A very good morning to you on this rather rainy here in Chard, Bank Holiday Monday. We are looking at Luke chapter 8, and we've come to verse 22 to 25, which is the story of the stilling of the storm. This follows straight on to this teaching of Jesus about hearing the word and doing it. And I do believe that there is a message in this story that sometimes we miss, because just like the disciples, we focus on the amazing, and I do acknowledge how amazing it is, the amazing fact that Jesus simply told the storm to stop, and it did. That was an amazing miracle. And of course, in the main, it is the thing that people focus on. Here they were. It just says one day, Jesus got into a boat with his disciples and he said to them, "Let us go across to the other side of the lake." So they set out and sailed. Large number of them, majority of them, were fishermen. The largest occupation group of the disciples, with Peter and James and John and Philip, Peter's brother. They were fishermen. They knew the waters of the lake Galilee, which were very squally at times, very unpredictable. I've actually been in a boat on the Sea of Galilee, and when we were going across, the leader of our group, when we were visiting Israel, said, "I've asked the Lord if we could experience a storm so we'd know what it was like." And I thought, well, I hope the Lord didn't listen to your prayer. I don't really want a storm out in the middle of this lake. Although you're never so far from land that you can't see the tops of the mountains that surround the lake, but it's below sea level, and it has these sudden storms. These men, they knew how to handle a boat. They knew about storms. And as they sailed across, Jesus fell asleep. And this storm came, and the boat was filling with water, and they were in danger. And they went and woke Jesus and said, "Master, Master, we are perishing." Now, for fishermen used to the waters, to say that meant that they were in dire need. They knew how to handle their boat. They knew. They only went to Jesus when they'd lost hope that they would survive. And Jesus woke, rebuked the wind and the raging waters, and they ceased, and there was a calm. And he said to them, "Where is your faith?" And they were afraid, and they marveled, saying to one another, "Who then is this, that he commands even wind and water, and they obey him?" Now it was a marvel, an amazing moment. So why did he say to them, "Where is your faith?" Because he hadn't demonstrated this before to them. They did not know that he had control of the wind and the waves. There had not been an experience like this before. So it wasn't that they didn't have the faith to do it themselves, like with the setting free of people from demonic power and healing. They had all seen him do those things before. And he could say then, "Where's your faith? We've been practicing this. I've been teaching you this." So why did Jesus say to them, "Where is your faith?" Well, I think it's because he'd been teaching them to hear his words and do them. And his words, as they got into the boat, were, "Let us go across to the other side of the lake." Now, Jesus expected and spoke that they would go to the other side of the lake. We're going to the other side of the lake. Here they were in the middle of the lake, unable to make headway, floundering in the storm. Now, if they believed his word, they would know they would get safely to the other side of the lake, and they didn't need to be afraid of the storm. Now, you may say that's unreasonable, but Jesus I believe, here was trying to teach them that every word he spoke was true. And if he told them to do something, nothing would stop them being able to do it. And they should have known that they would get to the other side. It was the fact that they said, we're perishing, we're going to die, that showed their lack of faith. Because if they believed that Jesus knew they were going to get to the other side, they shouldn't have been afraid. It's a tall order. But then, our faith in Jesus, as we grow, he expects us to take him at his word. And if he says something to us, there shouldn't even be a question mark as to whether it will happen or not. Now, here's a very interesting, just a little aside. When I was thinking about whether I would leave my job as a chaplain in South London and marry Terry and come here to the West Country, I felt the Lord saying to me when I said, yes, but what about my work? If I leave the hospital, what about my work? The Lord, I felt, said to me, Terry will support you in your work as a chaplain. And I came here and married him, came to the West Country, and both the hospitals nearest to us here had vacancies in their chaplaincy team, but were not recruiting because they were trying to save money. And for 6 years, I did not, well, for 3 years, 3.5 years, I did not have a chaplaincy job. I had to do other work. And then I had a chaplaincy job that was 1 afternoon a week. So it was 6 full years after I married Terry, before my full-time job as a chaplain came into being. And certainly during those first 3 years, I did not serve as a chaplain anywhere. And I had in my mind the thought, did I hear God wrong? I thought Terry was going to support me in my work as a chaplain, and here I am doing something completely different. But once I had my job, Terry has been the most amazing support for me as I've worked as a chaplain. So the word came true, but I had reason to doubt it, because there was a time period when it simply did not look as if it was ever going to happen. When God speaks to us, and we know it's God, we should fight the doubts. We should stand and say what these people should have said in the boat. I don't care what you throw at us, storm and water. We are not in any danger. Jesus is with us, and he is going to get us to the other side of the lake where he told us to go. It's my thought for the day. Have a think about it. Have a read of this amazing story and see it happening in your mind's eye. Get in that boat with the disciples and see what they experienced, to learn firsthand that every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God will come to pass, and not doubt it. Have a great day. Challenging, isn't it? The Word of God is challenging. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless. Bye-bye.